The Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service, the Honorable Randall Mitchell, Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Senator the Honorable Charlene Rambarath, Minister the Honorable Clarence Rambarath, Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Senator the Honorable Kazim Hossein, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Mrs. Michelle Benjamin, Member of Parliament, Moruga Tableland, Mr. Farouk Hussein, Member Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, Mr. Jason Kisoon, Chief Executive Officer, Rural Development Company, Mr. Sean Ramratan, Director, Youth Affairs Division, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, farmers of the Moruga and environs, members of community-based groups, agriculture practitioners, partner agencies, representatives, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining the Ministry of Development and National Service for our consultation for the Moruga Farm School. I am Joseph Lopez, your moderator, and this afternoon we will be chatting with you, the farmers and agriculture practitioners based in Moruga and environs. Now, please join me for a rendition of the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much. And I'd now like to welcome Ashok Sinanan for the opening prayer.
To all the ministers, senators, officials, member of parliament, moderators, presenters, and all people present here today in this consultation, good evening. Do you join me this evening as I say the opening prayer? Our gracious and heavenly Father, we thank you today for your mercy, for your love, and for your kindness. We thank you, God, that we are still in the land of the living, and we still have our health and strength. We thank you, God, for those that have made this possible this evening's consultation, and to all those that are representing here today. May your guidance be with us this evening. May your presence ever be with us, Lord, as we consult and as we look together as to the way forward for our people here in Moruga as far as agriculture is concerned. Bless us now, O God, I thank you as we invite your presence in today's meeting. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinanan. This afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy to have Mr. Farouk Hussein, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service.
Thank you, Chair. The Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service. The Honorable Kazim Hussein, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government. Also, we are expecting to be present the Honorable Randall Mitchell, Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, and the Honorable Clarence Rambarat, Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Ms. Michelle Benjamin, Member of Parliament for Moruga Tableland, Mr. Sean Ramratan, Director, Youth Affairs Division, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, MyDNS, youths and farmers from the Moruga area, members of community-based groups, agricultural practitioners, partner agency representatives, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my pleasure here today to welcome you to the first online consultation on the Moruga Farm School. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, MyDNS, continuously examines and re-examines our national youth delivery system. This includes our facilities as well as our human resources to provide a relevant, youth-centered, and youth-friendly delivery system that serves the current and emerging needs of our youth. It was in this process of constant re-examination that we identified the need for increased residential training programs, which promotes participation in TVET, that is Technical and Vocational Education and Training Programs. Together with a number of our units in the ministry, including our project unit, our monitoring and evaluation unit, our youth affairs division, we designed this project to bridge the gap revealed by our research. Permit me also to acknowledge the Rural Development Company, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, who have all played an integral role, having lent their technical expertise and institutional knowledge in developing this project, and without whom this project would not be a success. This team of passionate experts have been focused on bringing this collaborative effort to fruition and must be highly commended for their continued efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that this project will be well received by all of you here today. And I am heartened to see the project take flight. Ladies and gentlemen, you would be pleased to know that the construction of this farm school will not only increase the number of residential training programs and facilities for tech work skills training for young people throughout Trinidad and Tobago, but will also provide first-class training conditions to participants, which we anticipate will encourage young persons to seek agriculture as a preferred field of earning their livelihood. For young men and women between the ages of 16 to 25, that means access to a positive alternative to high-risk spaces at home or in their communities. That means that our targeted cohort of young people will now have a safe space to learn, grow, and develop through psychosocial development, including counseling. Because of the residential nature of the farm school, participants will develop a sense of community and shared responsibility in preparation for integration into society and active citizenship. They will also engage in agricultural pursuits and technical vocational training that promotes skills for self-sufficiency and employment, as well as entrepreneurship. They will also develop leadership skills through opportunities to plan and implement activities throughout the training periods. To the seasoned agricultural practitioners, be assured that the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and MyDNS remain committed to developing youth in the agricultural sector. You should also feel a sense of assurance in knowing that the next generation of agricultural practitioners has an opportunity to access technological agricultural advancement, which would further secure their family's future and generational wealth. Before I close, I wish to commend the Honorable Foster Cummins, our minister at MyDNS, not only for championing initiatives to support the livelihoods of our youth, but also the lives of our youth. In particular, the Honorable Minister is also championing a youth vaccine campaign being implemented by MyDNS in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time this afternoon and look forward to what I anticipate will be the beginning of many fruitful, pun intended, conversations. God richly bless our deliberations today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, P.S. Hussein, for shedding some more light on this very important project. The Rural Development Company of Youth Development is a state enterprise established to provide management and implementation of rural development projects like the Moruga Farm School. We are pleased to have them here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the Rural Development Company representative to give remarks on behalf of the Rural Development Company.
Pleasant good afternoon, everyone. The Honorable Minister Foster Cummins, Minister of Youth Development and National Service, Honorable Brandon Mitchell, Minister of Tourism, Culture and Arts, Senator the Honorable Clarence Rambra, Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries, Senator the Honorable Kazim Hussein, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, the Honorable Michelle Benjamin, Member of Parliament from Moruga Tableland, Mr. Farooq Hussein, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, the Chairman of the Rural Development Company, Ms. Patricia Alexis, Mr. Sean Ramrathan, Director, Youth Affairs Division, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, farmers for the Moruga area and environs, members of community-based groups, agriculture practitioners, partner agency representatives, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good afternoon. The Rural Development Company of Trinidad and Tobago is a special purpose state enterprise dedicated to providing project management services in the development and implementation of projects to improve the infrastructure, utilities, and social facilities in rural communities. The RDC was registered on May 2nd, 2005, with a mandate to expedite the implementation of projects provide physical infrastructure, utilities, and social services in the areas to improve the quality of life of the residents in those communities. The Rural Development Company is under the umbrella of the Rural Development Ministry, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. My apologies. Our mandate, and we are very excited to be a part of this project in the Moruga Farm School project. The areas that we will be focused on, rural development will be focused on, will be project, organization, planning, and the conceptual phase. Design, development, and construction, and the development phase. Construction and contracting of the bid and awards phase. The construction phase and the post-construction phase. We are very happy and very delighted to have been selected by the ministry to engage in this project. And we look forward to working with everyone and partnering with everyone to ensure that this project is delivered on time and within budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those remarks. The Ministry of Youth Development and National Service announced the establishment of a farm school in Moruga in 2020. Since then, the MyDNS has forged ahead with its goal to increase youth development and involvement in the agriculture sector. There has been one person, ladies and gentlemen, who has taken this mission with a clear focus and commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service.
Good afternoon, to my cabinet colleagues, the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, the Honorable Senator Kazim Hussein, to the Minister of Agriculture, Senator Clarence Rambarat, the Minister of Tourism, Senator Randall Mitchell, to my parliamentary colleague and MP for Moruga Tableland, Honorable Michelle Benjamin, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, Farouk Hussein, Chairman and the Chief Executive Officer of the Rural Development Company, to the Director of Youth Affairs, Mr. Ramratan, all the farmers and residents of Moruga, agricultural practitioners, and all the agencies involved in this project that has brought us to this point, the Ministry of Education, representatives, good afternoon. I decided after listening to that very well put together presentation by the Permanent Secretary not to deliver the remarks I intended to deliver this afternoon, because he did an excellent job in outlining what the project is all about and what it is intended for. We at the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service are determined to provide for our young people, the 550,000 young persons in Trinidad and Tobago, all the available opportunities to realize their fullest potential. We have identified agriculture as one of the vehicles that we would like to facilitate and make sure young people have access to as we introduce a new generation of farmers to Trinidad and Tobago. The farm school is intended to introduce modern technology into the farming practices in Trinidad and Tobago and allow our young persons the opportunity to get a hand of those technologies and utilize it in their farming enterprise. We expect and we look forward to the support from members of the community, particularly those persons who are already involved in agriculture, as we encourage and show our young people that agriculture certainly is a vehicle towards our sustainable development. I want to thank the Minister of Agriculture for the support of the Ministry of Agriculture in this project, I want to thank my colleague, the Minister of Rural Development and the Rural Development Company for assisting us in getting this project closer to reality. And I want to thank the Member of Parliament who has been in contact with me on this project to make sure that it comes to the benefit of those people of Moruga. And to our colleague from the Ministry of Tourism, who has also indicated an interest in this project, I want to thank him for taking part in this consultation today. So that as we move to bring further development to Moruga, I anticipate and hope that we will get the fullest support of all the residents and agricultural practitioners from the community of Moruga and environs. But today, I would like to listen to you as we discuss how we get this project closer to reality in terms of all the concerns or contributions that will be expressed from you, the beautiful people of Moruga. And sometime in the future, I mean, we are all experiencing this virtual sort of communication. Moruga is a place I enjoy visiting from time to time, and I hope to come very soon as we expand our vaccination program and we get back to life as we know it, to meet with you one-on-one, to experience once again some of your hill rice and the very good culinary skills that you have in Moruga. So thank you all very much, and I look forward to hearing your contributions here this afternoon.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Foster Cummings, for giving an overview on that project. I am sure that the young people of Moruga and by extension Trinidad and Tobago certainly do have a lot to look forward to. Now we turn to our distinguished guests and farmers and agriculture practitioners of Moruga and environs. For the next hour, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to hear your thoughts on a few topics and related to the farm school. But before we begin, just a few ground rules. Please ensure that your camera is off. Of course, that's for you, the participants. You can indicate that you would like to contribute by using the raise hand icon on Zoom. Then you may turn on your camera and make your contribution. And of course, if you're joining us via Facebook or YouTube, the guidelines are the same. Please write your name and make your contribution. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 minutes allotted for this spot here. And of course, I'd ask you to keep your contributions concise, short, and of course, very meaningful towards this initiative. All right. So my first question: would the community of Moruga consider it beneficial and necessary to construct a school of this nature? The question again is, would the community of Moruga consider it beneficial and necessary to construct a school of this nature? And I would like to ask Mr. Ashok Sinanan, of course, can you answer this question for us, please?
Good afternoon again, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for inviting me on this evening. I would like again to acknowledge all present here this evening, including the ministers and everybody this evening. Thank you very much. I just want to say that agricultural training school in Moruga is going to be a great addition to any form of training of agriculture in the Moruga area. As most of you would know, I heard the minister, Mr. Cummings, said that he visits Moruga a lot. And let me just introduce myself. My name is Mr. Ashok Sinanan. I am the president of the Moruga Lasavan Farmers, Food Crop Farmers Association. And when I speak, I would like to speak for the whole of the Moruga area who are involved in agriculture and food product it was said recently in a meeting that I logged on to that La Savana, Moruga, and the whole provides 35% of the food that comes to the nation. I think Moruga is doing very well in terms of food preparation, food product. But I just want to say quickly that yes, I, as the president of this Farmers Association, I think this is going to be a very encouraging thing. And I would like to encourage many other young people who wants to get involved in agriculture to take this opportunity and see this as a good opportunity for development for agriculture in Moruga.
Okay. Thank you very much for that contribution, Mr. Sinanan. Of course, very engaging and comprehensive there. I want to ask the minister, as he's here one time, Minister Foster Cummings, do you think the young people of Moruga, how would they feel about such an initiative like this one?
There are many young persons who have been approaching the ministry with regards to getting involved in agriculture. We've had a burst of enthusiasm surrounding some of the announcements we have made. And therefore, we think that it will be welcome, especially because the introduction of a new technology, that modern technology into farming to make farming more commercially viable is something I think young people will welcome.
All right. And Minister, as you're there one time, what area of Moruga do you think will be best suited for an initiative such as this?
Well, we are hoping that from this consultation today, we will get some ideas from the residents of Moruga as to where they think a facility like this would be best located.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you so much. Let me see if I can get some thoughts on the location of the Moruga Farm School. Maybe we can hear from someone from the Rural Development Company. You can share your thoughts on. All right, let's see who's here. Okay, Mr. Joseph Ruplal, can you answer this one for us and share your thoughts on where do you think the location of the Moruga Farm School should be?
Good afternoon. I want to say a special good afternoon to everybody gathered here. Well, this has been something that the community would have been waiting on quite a while. Moruga has been deprived of a lot of things, especially for its young people, and by extension, people from the schools who would have left doing agricultural science and not having anywhere to continue. So what we have realized that we are between Laloun, Marak, Borgeja, La Savane, there's a large food crop area. So we would like this school to be housed somewhere where it's going to be easily accessible to a lot of land. So you could have animal husbandry, you could enter the fishing industry as well, you could do short crop, long-term crops, and you could also have an area where students could also liaise with farmers at present. So it must be located in an area where most of the production of food is right now being produced. Thank you.
All right.
Pleasant good afternoon.
Mr. Trim, just one moment. Mr. Ruplal, we didn't get what organization you represented today. Mr. Ruplal?
Yes, hello?
Yes, sir. What organization are you representing today?
I am a resident of Moruga, having been a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service for the last 31 years. I am also one of the persons who assist in the young people, where we have a lot of sporting organizations are now coming for
All right, we seem to be having some technical difficulties from Mr. Ruplal in the final contribution from him. All right, so I see that Mr. Philip is raising his hands. Would you like to answer that question?
Also,
Philip, are you there?
Yes, I am. I was just getting difficulties to access you. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, all protocols observed. Good evening, everyone. I am representing the Moruga Development Committee, and I would like to suggest as a space, you already have that old farm space in Moruga that's currently being used as a marketplace. You have, and I understand that all that is state land there, and you already have a building there in the you have the MP's office. So I know they have available space there that something can be probably constructed on that piece of land, and it's very central in terms of probably where students might be coming from, and very, very accessible. However, I don't know if you would give me just a 2 minutes to mention to you all that the Moruga Development Committee is looking towards getting an arboretum going in Moruga. And we firmly believe that having such a school and students from your school being part of that creating of that arboretum, we would really like to see something like that happen. So many people have been looking at agriculture, mostly along monoculture, without considering that the world is changing towards permaculture, because monoculture has been accessing too much space, open space. You know, considering that the world is changing towards permaculture. Right. So we want to, well, probably you would hear from it from a later date as to our big plans for having this arboretum. An arboretum is basically a garden where education and research is done for the benefit of the public. But in our arboretum, we want to include a food forest, a fruit forest, and even Trinidad's second botanical gardens. Now, I know something like this would probably entail more time to talk, but it's just that I am saying that we would like to see a program like this being incorporated into our arboretum project. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Philip, for your contribution. Of course, it has been noted. Thank you so much for that. I just want to get just one more thought and suggestions on the location. And I see that we have Ms. Cooper Lee. Can you share some thoughts and give us your ideas of where do you think the location of this Moruga Farm School should be?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. My name is Rachel Ann Cooper Lee, and I'm the president and chairwoman of the Moruga Hillrise Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited. I'm indeed pleased to hear about this initiative, especially since our society has a number of young persons involved in the cultivation of the Moruga Hillrise crop, which we hope to bring to market in a few weeks' time. The location, ideally, as Mr. Ruplal identified before, there's a number of state lands available in Lassavan, more so in Marak Village, Moruga, where I'm from. The hill rice is cultivated right now on average 1/2 an acre per person. Young persons, male to female, are involved. Our office is situated in St. Mary's, which ideally is central to all of the communities located in Moruga. So if there's lands available in St. Mary's where the facility could be set up, that would be good, right? A centralized location. Also, the cooperative is also keen on getting machinery involved in the production of the Moruga Hill rice. We're multi-purpose, we're not limited to the Moruga Hill rice only. seeing that most of our farmers, they practice mixed cropping. So you will have the hill rice cultivated with the bene, the plantain, corn and pigeon peas, just to name a few. Right? So this initiative to get technology involved in agriculture is one our organization would embrace, as our young persons are also interested in ICT and, taking farming to the next level, whereby we could increase the production more so of the heritage crop, which is the Moruga hill rice. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Cooper Lee. At this time, I'd now like to ask the MP for Moruga, Ms. Michelle Benjamin, to please make a contribution on that topic, the location of the Moruga Farm School.
Sorry about the feedback. I want to thank firstly the minister for speaking this. What I would like to say concerning the location, like Ms. Cooper, you would have pointed out that a centralized location, because at some point in time, I would like to see the expansion of the program in the constituency. Right now, it's focused on the Moruga area, and if it's centralized, then persons from
MP, may I just excuse me? May I just ask? There's somebody has their mic on, Mr. Ruplal. May I ask you to please turn off your microphone so that we can hear the MP's contribution? We're getting a little bit of static in the background. All right, thank you so much. MP, you may continue.
Right, so I would like to agree with both Mr. Ruplal that pointed out the location of various state lands, and also Ms. Cooper with regards to if it's located in a centralized location, then when the program is expanded, persons from all over the constituency would be able to access this, more so the youths. So with regards to the existing structure, if we're looking at costing, we have the Moruga Sporting Facility. We also have the agro-processing plant, and each one is located in the vicinity where state land is readily available.
All right, thank you very much. That was the MP for Moruga, Ms. Michelle Benjamin. All right, and I just want to get one more contribution on that.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. David Trim,
Thank you very much, sir. Pleasant good afternoon, all protocols observed. I just want to lend support to Ms. Cooper Lee and also to the MP, Ms. Michelle Benjamin. We firmly believe that St. Mary's within the constituency of Moruga Tableland would be an ideal centralized location, and it has a vast amount of state lands that is readily available. As a matter of fact, the Moruga Sporting Complex within that area itself has a lot of state land that may be suitable itself for the establishment of the center here.
All right.
Thank you very much.
What organization are you from, Mr. Trim?
My sincerest apology, Friends of Moruga.
All right, thank you very much. I just want to remind all our contributors, please state your name and what organization or group you represent so that we can document that information, all right? So we want to move on to another area of importance in this wonderful initiative, and that's, of course, should the project be full-time, should it be part-time, should it be a course, should certificates or diplomas be awarded for such an initiative? We're going to hear some of your contributions on this, and I want to know, should the program offer a certificate or a diploma, or should it be part-time, or should it be full-time? Okay, so should the program be a certificate or a diploma program, full-time or part-time? Let me see whose hands are up, who's willing to answer that question. Mr. Emmanuel Pierre, I see your hand is up. Could you share some light?
Hello, good afternoon. Am I Am I clear?
You are loud and clear. Thank you.
Perfect. My name is Emmanuel Pierre, and I'm here in the capacity of two organizations, the Moruga Development Company and also Young Farmers Food Production Company that is based in Young Walk, Moruga. To answer the question, I would first like to understand what is the ministry's idea or ideology of the school itself, what type of technology they're hoping to introduce, what type of program they're hoping to run, because on a national level, we already have programs and degrees and diplomas being offered by UTT, by UE, and other agricultural schools. So what is it different in terms of what you all have planned for us in Moruga? And in answering these questions, this will help us to understand location. This will help us to understand if it should be diploma, if it should be degree, or just a certificate. So if you all could shed some light into what are some of your plans in terms of the building, is it first world status, what type of technology is being introduced, things like that. Or is it just you're looking for ideas from the community itself to help you all to plan this mega project?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Pear. All right, so we want to get more thoughts and more contributions on that. Of course, should it offer a certification, diploma, or certificate? Mr. Philip, you want to answer that question? Philip, are you there?
Yeah,
All
are you
right,
hearing me?
Mr.
Are you
Francis.
hearing me? Hello?
Yes, we are hearing you. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, all right. I seem to have problem connecting. Okay. Yes,
That's all
I
right.
am in full agreement with a full-time program. And I would also like to know if it is that you would among the subject matter, you would have things like botany and horticulture, permaculture, and these things.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, of course, this is a consultation, so all your suggestions and contributions will, of course, be noted, and those things will, of course, your contributions will go towards building the development of this Moruga Farm School. So, Mr. Francis Paul, may I ask you to please share a contribution and your thoughts on the program? Should it be a certification program or diploma?
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, Francis
Good
Paul.
afternoon.
In agreement with what Mr. Pierre has said, in terms of whether we should do a diploma or certificate. And as he has said, the challenge is we have so many programs with diploma and certification. In terms of what's the purpose of the school? The purpose of the school should be for training farmers. And we're talking about training farmers in 2021. We're supposed to be on the cutting edge of technology, using all that is available to us to make farming more accessible and easier for the individuals, to attract young people. Because previous programs, you have had a lot of certification and also, well, certificates and diplomas and what have you, but it has not been done to the benefit of the community or the individual. Now we want individuals who are skilled, highly skilled, and they can use the skills that they've gotten, and those skills. So we just only as people who are where they, so out of they can be looking at business. Farming.
Okay, Mr. Francis, we seem to be losing your connection
and
there.
also Mr. So we are definitely looking at something that would take us further in terms of not just certification.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis Paul. Can you let us know what organization do you represent, sir?
The Moruga Development Committee. We are the ones who are spearheading the development of the Aboriginal.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so let's get some more contributions on that. Should it offer certification, full-time or part-time. Mr. Shiva, I just saw you raised your hands. Would you like to contribute to that? All right, we'll come back to him shortly. I see that Mr. Ariel Saunders, you've raised your hand. You want to shed some light on that topic?
Good afternoon. Am I being heard clearly?
Yes, you are, sir. Go right ahead.
Ideally, I would agree that some level of certification should come out of the program. Let me say that I'm representing the St. Mary's Community Council, but I want to also support Mr. Pierce's contribution in asking for a little bit more clarity from the ministry's perspective in terms of what they're proposing and how they see it developing the community in particular. Since we know that there are similar programs, what is the benchmark, being used in terms of farm schools in the region or internationally, and how they plan to, apply that to our community.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Saunders, for that contribution. I just want to acknowledge some of the contributions that are being made on our social media platforms. Of course, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. And one of the contributions come from Salika Muhammad Ali, who says part-time and full-time options should be available for certification. And I saw that Mr. Sinanan, you raised your hand. You want to add to that contribution?
Yes, good evening again. I just want to say this program is an in-house training for agriculture. A lot of the farming that we have is open agriculture, into open farmlands and so on. There are a lot of difficulties that farmers incur in doing open, farming. It doesn't matter to me which part this, this structure is situated. I think the main idea is to get young people involved and get them properly well trained. And yes, I agree with the certification, and I also agree with the full-time, application of this this stuff. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Sinanan. Mr. Eric Gibbs, sorry, you just raised your hand. Would you like to make a contribution on that, sir?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All protocols observed. I am representing the Moruga Football Club. My take on it is that in the development of the curriculum for the school, I think due consideration should be given to all areas of agriculture. Moruga has been traditionally an agricultural area, so I would like to see elements of fishing, of processing, of adding value to our products. I would like to see it full time, and I would like it to go to the extent where a participant could get a degree of some sort, because we have to look outside of the box. We have to shift the paradigm that agriculture is just in the field and being, the hands-on approach. We have various fields that are opening up now that participants can veer off into, in terms of, marrying ICT in it, getting into administrative positions. So I would like those things to be duly considered when the curriculum is being prepared, so that at the end of this exercise, a participant can move on into any sphere of agriculture, be it in the field or beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you know that this program is for the young people of Moruga and environs in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to know, what areas of interest do you think the young people would be more inclined to and interested in? All right, what areas of agriculture training do you think that the young people who are participating in this initiative and project will be interested in? Who wants to answer that? Ms. Cooper Lee, can you answer that question for me, please? Thank you. We want to also encourage all the other participants. You can type your responses as well, and of course, we will acknowledge them as we go along.
Yes, thank you so
Ms.
much.
Cooperly, are you there?
Yes, I am. You hear me?
All right. Yes, we are.
Okay. One of the areas and one of the things that should be given consideration is that agriculture is just not primary agriculture. However, one should consider that there's a lot of opportunity for value-added products and also to explore careers and other careers in agriculture. And it should not just be limited to the view that agriculture is hot sun, going to field work all day, but consideration should be given to agriculture as a business. Hence, the curriculum should also focus on business type courses that would enable persons to become entrepreneurial or develop a mindset of entrepreneurship, right? Whereby we no longer dependent on government for employment. We could create our own opportunities, and in so doing, it would create and foster a culture of, self-efficiency and contribute to the GDP of the country, which is what our organization, the Moruga Hillrise Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited, is
All right.
primarily focused on, right? So
Okay.
agribusiness is one.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Cooperly. Thank you very much for your contribution. So I want to get some more thoughts on that. Mr. Philip, would you like to make a contribution? Of course, remember to keep it very short and concise, all right?
Yes, sir. Okay. In an arboretum, it requires people with a lot of skills. I would like to, or we would like to show outside of just the normal farming that you have professions in the study of the forest and even in education and research and all this kind of thing. Because I can tell you one thing, we have some plants in Moruga and Trinidad and the whole, where we don't know anything about them. But we are now gathering information. You have people who have studied botany and horticulture and all these various things. That's why I ask if it is that these things would be included in the program, because our two main watchword in trying to get this arboretum going is resiliency and sustainability. We would prefer to create a community of resilience rather than dependency. And programs like your educational program where you have certification and all this kind of thing, we have seen what has been happening even in our current education system, where it's only because certain amount of children, I had to say graduate, we have end up with a lot of dropouts. Well, in our case, we don't want that. We don't want to see dropouts or anything like that. We want to create a culture of resiliency and sustainability. And I think that is the way that we should be looking at it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Philip. Mr. Pear, you want to make a short contribution on that before we move on to our next topic? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I just want to strengthen Mrs. Cooperly's point in terms of the value-added products. What I think most young persons that gravitate towards, they gravitate towards things that are new, things that are fresh and refreshing. So we are accustomed to the normal planting, reaping, and going to the market. Let's add value to the products. We have something called the Moruga scorpion pepper that is internationally known and renowned. Why not get into that and look at some of the products, the capsaicin from the pepper, look at some of the things and where they can add value, not just on the plate, but also in different type of industries. In terms of fishing, fish farming, sometimes people think that agriculture is only about the crops, but agriculture is also about the livestock and the animals as well. Saltfish is a national dish, I think, for most Trinidadians. So why we not producing saltfish from the fish that come from the sea? So all these type of things, looking at the crops, looking at the livestock and turning it into something where you can get more value-added products, processing. These are things that you should include in the curriculum to teach young persons, not just the planting and farm and to the market alone, but you can also create, process, produce as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pear. Of course, at this time, I'd like to acknowledge in our midst the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Senator the Honorable Kazim Hussein. And of course, sir, I would please like to engage you in answering this question and sharing your thoughts on the interests of young persons in this project. Minister? Minister Hussein, are you there? All right, we'll come back to the minister a little later. Mr. Ruplal, you have a contribution. I think he's trying to connect to his audio. Mr. Ruplal, are you there? All right, Mr. Ruplal seems to be having some technical difficulties on his end, so we are unable to get his contribution there. But in the meantime, we'd like to move on, and I would like to know what new agricultural technologies should be taught at this Moruga Farm School. The question is, what new agricultural technologies should be taught at this new Moruga Farm School? Mr. Philip.
Yes, sir. Again, I want to emphasize that an arboretum also includes or lends space for tourism, all right? So that if it is that we are trying to bring about this resilient community, and we have to look at climate change and entrepreneurship and all these kind of things, it means that you have to look at as wide, to give the children as wide as options as possible. And I can assure you that in an arboretum that is properly functioning, where you would have, as I said, a garden for education and research, a botanical garden, a food farm, and a fruit forest, that would be able to expose children or students to as wide an area as possible. So I'm only hopeful that you all, probably if you all can meet with us, the Moruga Development Committee, and we can probably, carry this conversation further so that you can see where, even in your programming, right, how a great part can be played by getting people also involved in this arboretum project. Thank you.
Shit. Hi, good day. This is Heidi on Ministry Youth Development. We're not hearing you all. It would appear that the video has been muted.
I don't know if anyone is hearing or having connectivity problem.
Ms. Benjamin, you're not hearing us clearly, you said? Well, as from the audio standpoint in our studios, we are hearing very clearly. All right, so I would probably just ask that you ensure that your Wi-Fi connection is strong and that you probably go in the area where it is most, or this probably the strongest, all right? Okay, so the audio is back. All right, so we're going on to the next topic. All right. Right, so we're still asking what are the issues that farmers are facing? And I'd like to call on S. Rambarat to please answer that question. S. Rambarat. Of course, that's the name that we're seeing. Your screen name. S. Rambarat, are you there? All right, in the meantime, Mr. Francis Paul, could you please share your contribution on the challenges that young farmers face? Mr. Francis Paul, are you hearing us?
Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, great. The farmers in the Moruga area in La Savanne, major issue is certificate of tenure. And because farmers have been farming lands for over 40, some of them 50 years, and they have no certificate of tenure. That's one. Another major issue is plant pest and disease control. We have been having several problems for years with locust infestation in the greater Moruga area. So part of the program on the farm school should be to identify and how do we mitigate against pest, disease, and control. You had asked a question earlier and we didn't have enough time to answer. The volume had gone down on the system. And we're also looking at, in terms of what sort of technology you spoke about, we're talking about in terms of tissue culture and in terms of protecting the indigenous species of plant that we have in terms of germplasma technology. We're talking about in light of the challenges we are having with all the genetically modified seeds that are coming in. We want to be able to protect those seeds that are indigenous to Moruga. So also that should be part of the program as well.
I want to get your thoughts on the financial aspect of this program. How can we prepare these youth to be, financially ready to participate in this program? Mr. Shiva Mohammed, are you there with us? All right, we'll go with the next person. He's coming. Oh, he's there. Mr. Mohammed, can you unmute your mic, please?
Hi, good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
My name is Shiva Mohammed. I am representing the Kunjal Food Crop Project in Barakwa. Some of the issues we as young farmers are facing in this project that I am currently the vice president of, we have a lot of challenges like we face with the giant African snail. We also face in this project here we have an infestation of locusts. And we as young farmers, we try to reach out to the ministry and see how they could help us. But it seems that, I am being honest, I feel like we're getting a run around because sometimes they're telling us that they don't have this, they don't have that, and there's nothing that they could do in the ministry to help these young farmers to move forward. Because when we plant our crops, and spend so much money behind cultivation and whatever, it's very difficult for us. So some of the that is two of the challenges that we are facing in the Kunjal Food Crop project. We are facing some challenges with access roads in the project also. So these are things that when the school is in progress and when they start this new initiative, that these are some of the things that they can focus on for farmers. One other thing is that we as young farmers, we looking to see if we can get some incentive for us to go forward to farm more, because we really be interested in farming. And it seems that we don't have anything from the ministry that we can access to. So these are some of the things that we need as young farmers for us to go forward. So that is my contribution here this evening. I say thank you.
Hold on, the meeting, right?
Good day, Onika Cooper. The audio has been muted again. Youth officer.
All right, we'll try to work on that for you, okay? Our technical crew is here working on those issues. But also, we want to encourage you to please do double check your Wi-Fi status and ensure that you are in an area where it can be most effective. All right. Let's take some contributions from our persons on social media. And of course, we have Leela, who shared a contribution on Zoom. And she says, some of the issues that are plaguing young farmers in Trinidad and Tobago. She says, good afternoon. Larceny is one of them. Pipeborne water, access to pipeborne water, cleaning of ponds, and access to roads in the La Savannah area. Of course, continue to make your contributions in our inbox, and we will share them with our viewers on social media. You are live with us on Facebook and on YouTube. Let's move on now to agricultural cooperatives. And I would like to know, what has been your experience in agriculture cooperatives or farmers cooperative? So, experiences in agriculture cooperatives. Let me ask Mr. Okay. Miss Atwater, you're here with us. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, all, and thank you for being here and for having this consultation. My name is Lisa Atwater, teacher attached to Moruga Secondary School, and I wanted to ask a question based on the previous topic. I wanted to find out if such a program will be teaching skills such as entrepreneurial skills, financial literacy, access to funding for young and upcoming farmers, and will there be a facility that will allow for the provision of land ownership where these new farmers is concerned, and even for people who are already farming but do not have security of tenure. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Atwater. Of course, your questions and concerns have been documented and they will go forward in the consultation process to further develop the Moruga Farm School. All right, my next question, what advantages are there to the system and would you recommend this to young farmers? So what advantages are there in this system? And of course, would you recommend this program to young farmers? Mr. Sinanan?
Thank you very much again.
You're
I
welcome.
think the advantage is great. Everybody hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Am I
we're
being
hearing you.
heard?
Go ahead.
I think the advantage is great. I think some of the things that young farmers don't have presently is proper training in agriculture. One of the areas that that can be developed is training in as far as insecticide, fungicides, training on how to effectively handle insecticide and effectively apply insecticide, fungicide, and other chemicals in the agricultural area. Also, one of the other things is financial management. Yeah, young people who probably have the little finances when they plant a crop, and they have to learn how to manage their finances. That can be also taught. I think it's um, a good area, a good benefit for young people. Not only financial management, but in terms of also land preparation, also in terms of in greenhouse farming and all of that. I think it would be great for the young people in Moruga to learn different areas of agriculture and training and so on. I think I would recommend this
All right.
to any young person. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinanan. And of course, building on that, we also want to find out if there will be any advantages. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think there will be advantages in having young farmers participate in the cooperative? What are your thoughts? Do you think that there will be disadvantages in having the young farmers participate in the cooperative?
Is that question for me, sir?
Go ahead. You can go ahead and answer it. Thank you.
Well, just repeat the question again, sir. Sorry.
Yes. So do you foresee any advantages to having young farmers participate in a cooperative?
Yes, I do. I do. I think there is a lot of advantages, a lot of things that the farmers, especially young farmers. Today we have a lot of older farmers who might be going, out of farming very soon, and there is new technology. There is new, everything that is coming into farming now will be relatively new, and I think that the advantage will be for the younger people.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Sinanan, for your contribution. We now move on to smart technology and agricultural practices. Smart technology and agricultural practices. So smart technology in farming is an idea of operating farms, utilizing modern information and communication technologies. So, have you utilized any smart technology in your farming activities? And if so, what type of smart technologies do you think should be implemented in the Moruga Farm School project? What type of technologies do you think should be implemented in the Moruga Farm School project? Mr. Pear, could you answer that question for me, please? Thank you. Share your thoughts and contribution.
Thank you. In terms of smart technology, one of the things we would have noticed that most young persons, and when they ask me questions, I want to get into farming, I want to get into agriculture. Most of them want to get into this aquaponics and farming where you just use water alone. And there's a lot of technology that is within that setup. You could be miles away and you could control your farm or your setup from being afar. It's just a matter of feeding the plants with water and different nutrients. You set timers and you set different things and you technologically design it in a way where you don't actually have to be there every single day. But in order to get to there, you first need to understand simple and basic steps in agriculture, simple and basic things that old school farming would teach you. So I think it would be great where the school will be like a holistic, take a holistic approach to teaching, where you actually teach persons some of the old school ways and you marry that with some of the new technologies and the new things that are available, because there are many. If we go on YouTube, if we go on the internet, we can see a number of things that are happening out there in first world countries, China, and even some countries in Africa. It's just a matter of introducing these things to our country, introducing these things to the young people, and giving them the support that they need. We're not hearing anything.
All right. So I do apologize for that. My microphone was off, so my audio was off. I was encouraging other persons to make contributions, to come on and make contributions, all right? Please raise your hand and we will let you speak. Of course, I ask you to keep it very short and concise and meaningful, because I was mentioning that your contributions will redound to the benefit of the Moruga Farm School and Extension, the country of Trinidad and Tobago, and all our young, enthusiastic farmers, all right? So we are talking about technologies. That's the topic we're on, and we are talking about smart technologies in being incorporated in the farming system. And we want to know, what type of technologies do you think should be incorporated in the Moruga Farm School? So let's hear from Mr. Rudder Paul. Thank you very much, sir. What are your thoughts?
Good evening. Are you hearing me clearly?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay. I'm just representing myself as an agricultural consultant. I've worked in training farmers, young farmers out of Tobago, especially the Kendall Farm School. We have to reinvent much on this training and curriculum. It's already there. It's just getting around to disseminating the new technologies and getting it out to the farmers. I have a wealth of knowledge and I'm willing to come on board and share. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rudder Paul, for your contribution. Mr. Pear, you want to make a... Okay, Mr. Pear, I'll come back to you first. I want to hear Mr. Francis Paul. You've raised your hand. You want to make a contribution there concerning technology? All right. We will come back to Mr. Francis Paul. Mr. Eric Gibbs, are you there with us?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right. What are your thoughts on the technology and the use of technology in a program such as this?
Yes, I am saying that in preparing our students for the world of work in the field of agriculture, we should think beyond, our own domestic situation. Many of them would have gone on to farm projects in different parts of the world where they would have been exposed to various technologies at use, but we are limited in what we can do. So we are only limited to the laborer status. I see, I think we should introduce things like, GPS technology, because in a mega farm situation, this is what is being used. ICT, incorporating ICT into agriculture. These are young people, and we have to have programs that would appeal to their sensibilities. They're no longer into the traditional areas. So I feel to make this program attractive to the youth, we have to let them see that agriculture has now shifted into the age of technology and have programs as such involved. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. I just want to get a question, a thought on this question. Are farmers incorporating smart technologies into farming enterprises? Mr. Rutherford, could you answer that for me quickly? Because I know that you're an agriculture advisor. Mr. Rudder, you're mute. Hold a moment and unmute your mic.
Are we hearing clearly now?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Yeah, farmers have been doing it for quite a while now. And it's just that it's not coming down to the smaller group, but in this rural and the more developing areas, it will come around. And especially in the hydroponic and aquaponic areas. We are seeing it a lot right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Rutherford, for your contribution. We have just a few more minutes before we bring down the curtains to the first ever consultation on the Moruga Farm School. But of course, we'd just like to get some of your contributions before we end today's proceedings. All right, so very briefly, please, can you share your thoughts with us on what we've discussed today? And moving forward, of course, your contributions will be documented in the development and furtherance of this project. Mr. Pear. Okay, let's go with Mr. Pear, go ahead very quickly. Thank you.
Thank you again. As you said, you were bringing down the curtain. So let me thank the ministry and the different agencies for what they are doing for the community and the young persons. I think I can speak on behalf of young persons in the Moruga community. And we continue to want to work with you all on this project. We thank you all for the consultation, and we look forward to future consultation. As I was listening, one of the farmers earlier, I think was Mr. Mohammed, he would have highlighted some of the problems that exist in agriculture. This is the purpose of the school. The purpose of the school is to teach, to learn, and to help solve these problems. So once this is introduced, we are hoping that these problems can be solved, whether with new school or old school technology. So thank you all at the ministry and thank all the agencies that are involved in this project.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Pear. I just want to share some comments that came in on social media from Salika Muhammad Ali. She says, please engage master gardeners, farmers to share their best practices. She's saying, please engage master gardeners and farmers to share their best practices to the young and upcoming practitioners in the area of farming. All right. All right, so we just want to share some more comments from online. And those of you who have joined us, you have been sharing your comments with us and commenting via YouTube. All right. Yes, so this person is saying that we are truly appreciative for this consultation. Of course, it will help to point the way forward in the right direction for the young persons who are so enthusiastic to participate in farming. We also have another comment. Good job. Keep up the great work. We hope that this is the one of many more to come. All right. Okay, so we do have a lot of comments coming up on our social media, and of course, we will show you some of them later on, but we will now go back to our program where we would just recap a lot of what was discussed today. Of course, we spoke about the location of the Moruga Farm School, and you shared with us where you thought would be the best location for the Moruga Farm School. We spoke about whether or not this project should offer certification. Should it be a certificate? Should it be a diploma? Should it be full-time or part-time? You shared your thoughts with us on that. We also spoke about the opportunities in agro-processing. We also spoke about the entrepreneurship and financial management aspect of this initiative And we also spoke about the financial management training for young farmers who will be engaged and participating in this project. We also spoke about the agriculture cooperatives. And of course, very important, we spoke about the technologies and agriculture practices. And you shared with us your thoughts on what kind of technologies do you think should be implemented in this initiative. You spoke about the advantages and disadvantages that young farmers are facing as it pertains to the use of technology in the agriculture sector. So we have covered a lot of topics this afternoon, and we are very grateful that you have shared with us your thoughts and contributions on the way forward to the development of the Agriculture Moruga Farm School. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce and ask the Minister of Youth Development and National Service, to give his closing remarks on the first consultation.
Thank you very much. I want to say a special thanks to all those persons who took the time off this afternoon to take part in this consultation. We got quite a bit of information. I want to thank my colleagues who attended. I also want to thank the Member of Parliament for Moruga Tableland, who also participated in our consultation today. And I want to assure you that this is a priority project for the government, and I look forward to the implementation of this project with your fullest cooperation. The agency that has been selected, the Rural Development Company, I know that they are capable of doing a very good job in delivering this project on time. And therefore, this consultation, of course, is because we want to set the tone from the very beginning that we are doing this project in close collaboration with the community, and that at the end of the day, the product that we will deliver would be something that the residents of Moruga and environs will be quite pleased with and will be part of in a very meaningful way. And it will go a long way to improving our agricultural output in this country and to get more and more young persons and introduce more young farmers to the current cadre of very successful farmers we have in Trinidad and Tobago. And thank you again very much. Moderator, I think your mic is muted.
Are you hearing me now? Thank you very much, Minister.
Loud and clear.
I think my audio is back on. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. And of course, thank you, Minister, for your remarks. The Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service. And of course, thank you to all our participants. This is the first of several consultations, and we look forward to you being a part of the journey with us. And to formally thank you this evening is Mr. Sean Ramratan, the Director of Youth Affairs at the Ministry of Youth and Development and National Service.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. The Honorable Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service. Senator, the Honorable Kazim Hussain, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government. Mr. Farouk Hussain, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. Mr. Kisoon, Jason Kisoon, Chief Executive Officer, Rural Development Company. Farmers from the Moruga area and environs, youth, members of community-based groups, agricultural practitioners, partnering agency representative, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I have the honor of moving a vote of thanks this afternoon. And first, I must thank God for the opportunity for us to have gathered in this virtual space to have engaged in dialogue on the Moruga Farm School project. To our Honorable Minister, Foster Cummins, and Permanent Secretary, Farooq Hussain, I say thank you for your astute leadership and wisdom in conceptualizing and enabling this consultation to inform this important project. To the respective ministers and members of Parliament, thank you all for your important contribution, insight, and commitment you have pledged to this project. To our moderator, Mr. Lopez, I thank you for facilitating and enabling an engaging atmosphere this afternoon. To the staff of the ministry, I thank you for all the hard work expended to make today's consultation a success. To, and not last, but to all our stakeholders who have engaged the virtual forum this afternoon and provided advice, recommendation, and support for this very important project, I thank you, and I assure you that the information will be utilized to inform the design of the Moruga Farm School project to ensure its success, such that it may redound to youth employment, food security, and rural development, all aimed at sustainable national development. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, and please keep safe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sean Ramratan, the Director of Youth Affairs at the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. Ladies and gentlemen of Moruga and environs, agricultural practitioners and professionals, thank you for joining us for the first consultation for the Moruga Farm School. Your insight is sincerely appreciated, and we will keep you updated on the progress we are making. I'm your moderator, Joseph Lopez. Thank you for tuning in to this production of the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, making my DNS ours.